And here we go again. Guys, welcome to the channel, and yet again, someone did the unthinkable, or maybe what they plan on doing all along, maybe something that is acceptable based on their culture, on their way of thinking. This happened in a Taylor Swift themed workshop. Little kids, little children, dancing Taylor Swift songs and doing little Taylor Swift bracelets, apparently. That's what they were doing. And a teenager, 17-year-old young man, because when you're 17 years old, you are indeed a pretty grown-up person, even though these days we try to pretend that a 30-year-old grown-ass man is still a child. No. You're 15 years old forward, 14 years old, 15 years old. Yeah, that's kind of like, you're pretty big already. You can tell right from wrong, right? There's 9 critical to little kids that it is terrible. It is terrible, and this is the point in which, how can we live like this? You can't have a child, join others and dance and play and do little crafts. No, you have to be worrying about someone showing up and being the monster that, well, who is it? Why is that these things are... Who could it possibly be? Let me guess. Crystal ball. I have the 8 ball over there. Let me ask the 8 ball what...
We know from what little information we've been passed by the Merseyside police, who haven't named the youth in question because he's underage.
Of course. We have to protect the youth. The 17-year-old youth that didn't know what he was doing, but did it nonetheless in a very brutal manner. You cannot mention. We have to protect the youth, right? Not the other ones, not the actual little children. No, we have to protect the true victim because of the patriarchy and the evil white people from the West, right? Those are the evil people.
Apparently, he's under 18, so he doesn't get named, but he appears to be the son of Rwandan immigrants who came to this country sometime before he was born.
Okay, yeah. I'm sure it was one of those, yeah. It's always the same thing. When are we going to recognize that there's people from different parts of the world with different cultures, with different values, and not all of them are compatible? Is this crazy talk? Is it really that difficult to understand that some people simply do not want to assimilate, not even to a different culture, right? I've been in the position of moving to a new country, a country that was not my own, living there. And it's not even about, you have to assimilate, you have to start waving the little flag and just pretend you're... No one's talking about any of that. I certainly never did any of that, and I still had a great relationship with all of my neighbors, wherever I was living. Maybe a little bit too much, maybe too many people. I like having less friends in real life. Why was I pretending to be something? No, you know what? It is very simple. Be respectful, respect the place in which you are, be curious about these new customs and the new culture in which you chose to be. Try learning from that, try enjoying it, be part of the community, and you can still have your own traditions, your own thing. Yes, but you know what? You can do that when there's a minimal amount of compatibility between these, when the way of thinking is somewhat compatible with the values of the people that are around you. If you don't share basic common values, basic ideas of right and wrong, good and evil, then there's no way in which these two can merge. You cannot adapt to something that is so alien to you. You will not be part of that because you simply do not wish to be part of that society in which you chose to go, right? Now, it's a very different story when you go there, and what is it that many of these people are going for? Are they going to conquer? Are they going to impose? Are they going to physically, literally eliminate those that they don't want around them anymore? was just a couple of days ago. An Asian man, because we have to pretend it's Asian. It was probably a Japanese dude. Hit an officer. Armed police. Yeah, this stupid thing they have in UK about, it's armed police, right? Well, one of these armed police got punched in the face. Female officer. One of the male officers just submits, throws the guy to the ground, and just reduces him so as to control this maniac. What is the video that you see? The part where he's being detained. The part where force has to be used against this uncivilized beast that struck a woman in the face. Personal opinion of mine, a police officer, all of them have guns. I mean, you're a damn police officer. You should have a gun, right? That's what you're supposed to do. It's not only for your own protection, even more important, it's for the protection of the people around you. It's for the protection of maybe even little children that are being attacked by maniacs and crazy people and people that simply don't belong there, because they should be where that is the norm. They should be where behaving like this is acceptable. Behaving like this is tolerated and even celebrated at times. Oh, you strong. Yeah. Oh, yeah, you go with a club or a machete or whatever the hell it is you have at hand. But no. We've been castrated as a society all over the world. In the case specifically of UK, you cannot have a pocket knife with you. It has to be a UK legal knife. It has to be something that does not lock and under 3 inches. Even if it's a non-locking blade, it still needs to be under 3 inches. And if it locks, no length is acceptable. Fixed blade, of course not. Thrown in jail immediately. It is a piece of sharp steel. Are you going to ban minerals? It is insane. And when you look at the statistics as of what happens in other countries, it turns out that it does not fucking work. Let me make that perfectly clear. There's a bunch of other countries, even within Europe, that don't have those regulations where you can perfectly carry a fixed blade or a folding knife that locks and it's 3-4 inches long or whatnot, and you have several times less stabbings so it doesn't work. It simply does. That's not it. Same thing in the U.S. with gun violence. What happened with Trump? You saw some of these shameless, spineless politicians making the attack on Trump about banning AR-15s and banning guns. Scum. It's human filth. These people that use an attack on a president, on a former president, or even any average person, using an attack on someone as an excuse to bring their sick, misguided, evil agenda of enslaving people. It's the same thing here. You can't have a pocket knife. No. You can't have a firearm. It's crazy talk. No, it's not. It's not crazy talk, because you know what? An armed society is a polite society. When people have guns, people actually take care of not doing this kind of shit, because it usually means you will be brought down like the beast that you are, right? But no, this is how, and it's not only UK. This is all over the world. More and more, we are being reduced in our individual capacity to defend ourselves. We're being reduced in even having the mindset of thinking this way. No, you're really, we're the crazy people. Those of us that want to protect our kids, those of us that want to live without violence imposed upon us by people that see us as soft, as easy targets. They see us as prey, because that's the culture that they bring along. That's the ideology that they bring along. It may be cultural, religious, whatever you want to call it, but they are imposing that on us, and we're doing nothing. We're just pretending, okay, it's fine. But those knives, we have to ban those knives, and the evil patriarchy, the white male, it's always a problem. Always a problem. Not really. No, it's not. It's actually not. That's bullshit. It's not true. So when are we gonna stop pretending? that's a problem. When will we stop pretending that the problem is guns, the problem is knives, talking still about inanimate objects, which has been proven time and again that's not true? When are we going to stop talking about the evil white men imposing the patriarchy on those less lucky and those that have been, the systematic, and it is impossible. We can't keep going like this. We saw what happened in France during the Olympics. It's all part of the same. Part of destroying the Western culture for what it is and imposing this way of living, this way of thinking even. And there's going to be casualties all along the way until they finally get their agenda through, until they fully transform society. This will continue to happen, and for that you have to prepare. As I've been saying all along, the things I talk about here on the channel, the things that I've explained in my books, Surviving the Economic Collapse and Street Survival Skills, specifically this book here, Street Survival Skills, the skills to protect yourself, protect your family. I was just reading reviews on Amazon, by the way, and thanks for everyone that takes the time to leave a review. That's hugely appreciated. But people that but the book does not apply here because I can have this, I can have that. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. What I explain here in dealing with someone that is armed with a knife, someone that is armed with a firearm, even if you live in a country where all of that is banned, you may have someone that shows up like that. And if you have basic understanding of how these things work in terms of firearms, how you could try to defend yourself against someone with a blade. There are things, there are techniques, there's basic things that can hugely improve your odds. They're not gonna be good. Someone coming at you with a blade is not gonna fun. It's not gonna be fun. It's very difficult. But if you have a basic understanding on what you're supposed to do, how to do it, and of course, the more you train, by all means. But let's be completely honest. How many are gonna train week after week, continuously training on disarming knife attacks? Very few people. Even if you did it, it's going to be a few classes maybe that you took. It's not something you train all the night. But even that little bit of training that you got is going to be a lot better. It's going to be huge compared to having no knowledge whatsoever. The same thing that I explained in the books in terms of using objects, using clothes that you have, using a jacket. What is it that you're supposed to do? What is the priority? How do you defend yourself from that? How do you defend others? How do you stop bleeding from a wound like that? There's techniques. No, it's not just about picking up any cord and doing a tourniquet. Have you ever done a tourniquet? Well, you actually can. It's not that difficult. Once you learn how to do it, it's not that difficult to check if it works or not. It is actually very simple. Even tourniquets that you buy in Amazon, and I'll leave links below there. You should have, if you have a first aid kit in your vehicle, if you carry an EDC bag, you should have a tourniquet in there. These days, I think it's crucial. Oh, but I have a 550 paracord. Okay, it's not going to be as good, but you can do a tourniquet. Again, have you tried doing it? Have you seen how much it hurts? Because if you had, you will see that, no, just a very thin rope, that is going to hurt a lot. It's going to be cutting through. It's a lot better if you actually have the thing. Try it on. Check if you have, if you still have a pulse. If you still have a pulse, that thing is not working. Would not have stopped bleeding from your arm if it's still there, if you still feel a pulse. If you stopped it, that's a good sign. That means you would have stopped the bleeding. Guys, it's all about knowledge. Beyond that, when you look at this from a little bit more of a distance and you see the whole of it, how they're imposing the narrative, how they try to go after kids, how they try to go after all of us, your sense of self, your sense of pride on who you are, where you come from, what your society has achieved for all of humanity, up to the point in which people from all of those places want to go to your countries. They're not going the other way around, man. They're not. When I'm from Argentina, right? When you see people going from Venezuela to Argentina, it's not because Venezuela is fucking better than Argentina. It's because Argentina offers something better. And when people from Argentina go somewhere else, it's probably because there's something else that is even better than what they have home, right? And the same goes for everyone. Now, when you see these different societies and you see how people move around. Why the hell would you want to turn your own society into what they're leaving, into what they're running away from? Why? See you next time.